Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. I wanted to share another tealight Christmas card I made. It's an easel card. So it was like this. It's using the reindeer collection paper. So it's an easel card. And I cut the moon and the windows out so that when your tea light's back there, I don't know if you can see it, the lights are on and, well, in the room, and it's a bright sunny day, so it's hard to see. But the windows and the moon sort of glow with the tea light when it's dark. And super easy to, or well, not super easy, relatively easy to make. So let's get started. The main thing is this gorgeous paper that I wanted to use. So I actually made my card size dependent on the paper because I wanted this sheet of paper from the Crafter's Companion Reindeer Collection. The 12 by 12 sheet looks, let's see, I think I have another one of them. Yeah, there it is. Looks like that. And it's just such a pretty piece of paper. So I cut this out and then I cut this part out for the inside. And because here it says 'twas the night before, and then Christmas is kind of cut off. But up here it says 'twas the night before Christmas, you know, and the rest of the saying. So when my easel is going to stand up, it's going to say 'twas the night before on this part, and then down here it'll say Christmas and go from there. So that's why my card shape and size is going to be a little bit different. So my card is going to be 6 by 7, and it's an easel card. So my base of my card is 6 by 7. And the top is 6, and this is by 8. And I scored at 3.5 and at 7. Let me turn on some lights. So I'm going to make my easel card like that. But before I glue that together, I'm going to do, I want to cut a circle in here so that, let me show you that. So the back is like that. So when it's standing up, you can put the tea light back there and it'll shine through. So I'm going to take my circle die and just cut a hole, and it doesn't, it can be big, small. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a circle. It can be a square, whatever. But you basically just want to cut a spot out. So we're just going to put circle sort of in the middle of that score line and in the middle of this side to side. Okay, now that's my card base, essentially. So there's my easel. Now I can go ahead and glue that together. And I made my own card base because it's an odd size and I didn't have it. So all we're going to do, this is an easy way to make a card base of any size. Okay, and now that's my card base. And you get the seam on the back, but if you really don't like it, you could put another piece of card over the top, but it doesn't show on the front, so it doesn't really matter. So there's my card blank. I'm going to set that one to one side. Now I'm going to create the front of my card. So this front piece. So we're going to start by, I want to decide where I want to put my moon. And I'm going to put my moon kind of about right there. And then just hold it in place. And I want to mark on the outside of the die, on the roof and the house, where that's going to go. Because I need to cut a slit because I want to cut this part, but I don't want to cut the house. See, so you cut that slit so that you can slide the die underneath. That's the trick. And take your paper trim or your craft knife. And if you're not great with a knife, you can use scissors. And in fact, now that I've got it started, I think I will. So you take your little snips once you get a slit, then you can get in there and work. And just follow the roof line around. In this case, the snow on the roof line. Try not to crease that paper. And then go right up to the edge of the house. And then on the straight section, I'm going to go back to my craft knife. Okay. And now I've got a slit in that paper from pencil mark to pencil mark, okay? And my die will fit right underneath there, just like that. And that's how I'm going to cut my partial moon, okay? So, here we go. See? Cuts your moon partially out, which is exactly what you want. Now, I cut out the windows in the barn. You don't have to do that, but I just kind of liked the looks of that extra light coming through. And so you can use, I'm just going to use my craft knife and cut these little rectangles out. Now, I'm going to mount that on a piece of dark green card for a matte layer. But now I got to cut the holes on this, so on the green. So what I did is I kind of, let me get my cutting mat down here. This is magnetic, so it helps. So if you get it lined up where you would put it, and then slide that die underneath. And line it up with the hole of your moon. There we go. All right, take that one off and then carefully run that through. Okay. Now when I put my matte layer on, my moon's going to be perfectly cut out, but now I've got my little windows, right? So, you can do one of two things. You can cut them out individually if you want, or what I did, I cheated a little bit, is I just kind of marked the bottoms and the top. Oops. And I forgot one mark. And over here on the end. And I just took my scissors and I just cut a rectangle out. And if it's a little bit more, you want it a little bit more than the pencil marks because the pencils were inside the windows. There you go. And it won't look quite as neat from the back, but it'll be fine. So now all my windows, but see what I mean? It would have looked neater if I'd just cut out the windows, but I didn't bother. And then I've got a piece of vellum, and I'm just gonna mount that right on there, and then I'll put my top layer over the top. And then I liked, on this one, I stamped Santa and his reindeer right there, and so I'm gonna do that on this one as well. So I'll just put my card panel on there and line up my little Santa and reindeer where I want it. And I want them flying across the moon. And this is actually from the Crafter's Companion set, stamp set. This came with the little stencil and die, like snow globe or ornament thing. But it's a perfect size for this moon. And then I stamped in black opaque pigment and then heat embossed, and that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so got that all heat embossed. Now I'm going to come back in with my card base, and this is going to go right on the front of the easel. Okay, and I'm just going to glue the bottom part of it. And you don't have to line up any holes because the light's just going to shine through that hole when it raises up, because when it raises up, this is all above the fold. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to do my inside. So as I told you, this says "'Twas the night before," and then this sheet of paper says "'Twas the night before Christmas," but this piece was there. And by the time I cut 7, I only had 5 left, and I needed 7. But I didn't want to waste another sheet of paper by cutting that out. And since I need a stopper, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take a piece of that same paper from a different part of the sheet, put it on the top, and by the time I put the stopper over the top of it, you won't really notice it, and I won't waste another sheet of paper. So that's why there's a seam right there, but you're not going to see it. I'll show you what I mean. So this is going to go in here. I try to use my good paper very sparingly and judiciously. But I wanted that saying, and that saying was on the 12 by 12 sheet, was one above the other one. So I couldn't get those two pieces. So I'm just going to put this on here. And then see, when I stand this up, it's going to say "'Twas the night before," and then I can cover up this "'Twas the night before" with my stopper. And then it'll say "'Twas the night before Christmas," and all through the house, right? So that was the idea. So I'm going to use this as a stopper. Let me get some foam tape. And this is just that same paper. I just took a strip from somewhere else and backed it in the green. And you could stamp a sentiment on there if you want. I'm not going to, because I didn't want to cover up and take away from the saying on the paper, because I thought it was just really pretty paper. So I can cover up the "'Twas the night before," get it centered and straight. And now I have room for my tea light back there. Actually, it needs to come down just a little bit. Yeah, can I still get it off? That's why I put wet glue on it, because I can still peel it off. It needs to come a little bit more. There we go. And it stands up like this, and it says "'Twas the night," so "'Twas the night before Christmas." And I've got room for my tea light back there. And that's my card. Isn't that pretty? And when I put my tea light back there, my moon and my windows will glow. See? Anyway, thought I'd show you how to cut that, a partial die cut, and get that nice tea light effect. Thanks for watching.